got a topic I want to talk about today. It's something that I thought about when I'd been watching a few videos earlier today. And it is why there are so many older people or people of older generations on YouTube these days. Not just as observers or watching videos. I mean actually making the videos and posting them and having their own YouTube channels. Now, I know with a lot of the videos that you see, sort of across the board basically, there's a lot of focus on how to get more clicks, how to get more likes, how to get more subscribers, and even to the extent of how to make more money. Now, I find this is generally the sort of younger to middle generations that are doing this, rather than the older generations. The older generations that I've seen, the people from the older generations, normally they will explain perhaps how they became monetized, how long it took, perhaps how much money they're making now, and even if they're not making very much, they don't really seem to be too concerned about it. But I wonder why it is that so many older folk now are putting themselves out there on YouTube, on videos and YouTube channels. There seems to be a range of different sorts of people. Now, when I say different sorts of people, how can I describe that? People from all geographical areas, some that have got interests that they like to do YouTube videos about, whether it be cooking or anything like that. Others just like to sit and talk about their experiences, talk about how life's going on around them, perhaps tell a few stories about what their life's been like and what it's like now, having to survive in the economic turmoil that seems to be sort of going on around everybody. Now, the ones that there was one I watched this morning in particular that triggered my curiosity. It was about an older woman, old at my age, in my 70s. I think she was a bit older actually. And she was going on about how she lives alone and why she does these YouTube videos. There was no purpose that she had when she first put the YouTube videos out. She just thought it would be a good idea just to try and make a few YouTube videos, which she did. I think she did it for a period of time, not too long, made a few videos, didn't have any people viewing them, didn't get any subscribers, so she let it go. A few months later, she got back to it again and posted a few more videos, just about general stuff that's going on around her. And once again, after another 10 or 15 videos, she didn't gain any traction, so she gave it up again. Now, several months ago, she thought, how about I give this another go? Well, she made a few videos and then she struck one where, she struck one where sort of like basically overnight she had several 100,000 views. And it was just a very simple, basic video. It was about her living circumstances, how they'd changed, and what caused her to change her living circumstances. And just talking about the experience that she'd gone through, what the thoughts had gone through her mind while she was looking to make this change, and where she is now, where she's in this particular situation, and why she enjoys it. Now, you'd think that that wasn't really something that would grab everybody's attention, but for some reason it did, and it obviously resonated with a lot of people, and that lot of people were probably in her age range. Now, I know with different videos that you see, there are a lot of people that are unhappy in their current circumstances. but they feel like they're imprisoned, that they can't get out of it because of either money or lack of support from family, or for various reasons they're caught up in this bind of living in circumstances where they're not really comfortable or happy, but don't really see any way out of it. And this particular lady, she came up with an idea that helped her to get out of the situation and into the one where she is at the moment, where she is absolutely enjoying herself, and she said she couldn't be happier. So it made me think that, as I said, there must be a lot of people in this similar situation in the older age bracket. A lot of people, they've had family or friends close, and maybe they've sort of found now that they just would like to be able to spend time on their own. And so this was a particular lady, she made the move and she's now in a situation she's happy with. So that brings me back to thinking, well, why do people start YouTube channels when they are in the older age group? Now, I guess the thing is too that a lot of us have grown up, not all of our lives with technology as it exists at the moment, but maybe 10, 15, 20 odd years plus of our lives, of our working lives, have involved technology, computers, and things like that, that once you actually leave your job, if you worked in an office or in a corporate office or something like that, often once you leave that, you have no need to engage in the internet or with any of the programs that you've become familiar with. And YouTube is something that allows them, or allows us, to continue working with technology, setting a little path for ourselves moving forward. And even though we're probably not keeping up with technology now at the rate that it is advancing, we still have access to AI, depending on what programs you have on your computer, but you have the ability to work with some AI, which is something, probably 10 years ago, 5 years ago, you would have never ever thought about. Some people go on YouTube because they hope that they will be able to be in a position to make a little bit of money. It's never ever going to replace, especially for an older person, unless you're extremely lucky and you've got something that's particularly engaging or attracting other people to your particular channel. When you're retired, especially if you've got a bit of retirement savings and things like that, just anything to top that up is valuable. It is really good to have that extra bit of cash. As for thinking that at that age that it's going to create a big income for you is pretty unrealistic for the most part. I think some people also start up YouTube channels to overcome some personal issues they have. They may be a very shy person. They don't like engaging on one-on-one with people or with crowds. But when you're sitting here and you're talking to a camera, you can just forget that there's a possibility of being a dozen or so, or few hundred or thousands of people that will actually watch this video. All you're doing is sitting there talking to a camera, and it's not in the least bit intimidating. Some people have insecurities about feeling that they don't have the right amount of topics and things that they can talk about, things that they can discuss that other people are interested in. And also there's the loneliness aspect. You don't have to feel lonely if you're on your own and you can engage through the internet with people either directly or indirectly. And I know that some people go live on some of their channels, and they can interact with people on a personal basis in real time. And that too is such a bonus for anyone who is actually, at home on their own, don't have the opportunity to get out or to interact with people, or don't even really want to, because when you do go out and interact with people, you sort of got to, what would I say, fall in line a wee bit with what other people want. But when you're at home, you can do whatever you want to. If you want to talk for half an hour, you can talk for half an hour. If you want to carry on for an hour and people are happy to interact with you, you can talk for an hour. If you've had 20 minutes and think, oh, I've had enough of this, I'm going to turn it off, you can do that. A bit different if you're out with people for lunch or morning tea or something, and halfway through your lunch you think, oh God, I've had enough of this, I want to go home. You can't really get up and walk out of a cafe and just go home. So making YouTube videos has got so many advantages for people that are of the older age group. I wonder too then about the audience that we get as older people. I guess there are a lot of people that have a younger audience. They have a lot of folks who are in the younger age group, whether they are interested in listening to what us oldies have got to say, or it's just curiosity, or they just happen to think that maybe this topic in particular is going to be interesting, so they'll switch in and see what's going on. With older people, you sort of get the feeling that you've become part of, without even thinking about it, you become part of an invisible community. When people interact with you and they answer they put comments and things like that, these are actually real people that are interacting with you, but they're invisible. They're not, you can't see them, and it may be hours later that after you made your video that they've actually made a comment on your channel. So it's still a community, but it's basically invisible. You don't know where they are, what time it is, what they look like, anything at all. But it's still community, and it's a way of building relationships and friendships and I say community as you're getting older, without having to go actually out your back door. So what better advantage is there than that? The main thing that I think about is there are so many of us now who are older and are making these videos for whatever reason that we're doing it. There's a multitude of reasons why we're doing it. We're not trying to teach people how to make YouTube videos. We're not trying to teach you what's the best way to post a YouTube video, what's the best way to edit, what's the best platform to use as an editing software, how to do the best thumbnails. There's a raft of people already out there doing that. We don't need to get involved in trying to make videos educating people how to make better videos. For some reason, when you've got the age and perhaps the wisdom maybe of us oldies, we can just sit and talk to a camera and rattle away for ages and hopefully find that someone finds a little bit of interest in that. I guess it's just a matter of encouraging people. It makes me so happy to see so many different people out there that are making these videos. And for anybody that hasn't actually started a channel, I truly recommend that you get in there and try and do it. Even if it's just you use your phone, you don't have to buy anything. If you've got a phone, you can use like a microphone on your phone if you want to talk rather than buying a microphone. You may decide that you want to get, to buy a microphone just to make the voice quality a wee bit better. But it's so easy just to make a video with your phone and then plonk it onto YouTube. So anyone that's been thinking about it and thinking, oh, what would I ever think of to talk about? I've thought about that too. I've worried, I thought, what am I going to talk about? And I think I've made over 60 videos at the moment, and every time I finish one, I think, oh, what am I going to make the next one about? But your ideas keep coming. They just do, believe me. So hopefully I can encourage more of our older generation to to make these videos. We don't have to be the old part of society that needs to be shut into a back room and just given 3 square meals a day and hope they don't make a fuss. We're not that way anymore. That's not what old people are. We've got more ambition, more determination, and more desire to remain part of society than just to kick back and think, oh, done my bit, you know, I'm just going to relax now. If you've been thinking about making YouTube videos, please try it. Even if you only do a couple, you probably won't get any watches, or you won't get any views or new subscribers or anything like that, but just try it. Give it a go and just see how you feel about clicking onto YouTube, looking at one of your own videos and think, oh my God, that's me. Is that really what I look like on camera? It's really worth it. And I just encourage you, all us oldies, we've got to stick together. We've got to keep on going. We can't let life and the times get the better of us. So I hope that's been a little bit of inspiration for people. If this is the first time you've been here, thank you for dropping by. If you've come back from watching a previous video, thank you for returning. My name is June, and I would like to wish you all a great weekend and ask you all, please take care, stay safe, and I'll see you on the next one. Okay, bye.